Hey, it's great to make an encore appearance here on 4BC. Of course, was on for a few years on Saturday mornings and always enjoyed that. So it's great to be on for a couple of days for Richard. And, well, that Ashley Madison story, divorce attorneys worldwide have got to be eating that up. That's going to be full employment worldwide for family law barristers and legal counsel. That's for sure. Donald Trump, he's a man who can afford lots of attorneys. He can afford pretty much anything he wants. So he's doing anything he wants in the presidential election. And what's crazy on the Republican side is I didn't really believe it at first. I had to double check these numbers. Washington Post ABC News poll, which was released yesterday here in the U.S., shows him with 24% support for the Republican presidential nomination. That is way out in front. Scott Walker, the governor of Wisconsin, with 13%. Jeb Bush, of course, the brother and son of the former presidents, at 12%. Everybody else in single digits. And now, I'm going to put you on the spot here, Ben. Can you guess how many Republican presidential candidates there are now? Officially, legitimate candidates. Yeah. Oh, 10. They wish. They're going to put 10 on stage for the first debate coming up next month. There's 16 of them, including the latest to get in, Ohio Governor John Kasich, who's 63, who got in today. But nothing is more interesting than what's going on with Donald Trump. Unbelievable. Lindsey Graham is a senator from South Carolina, and they got into kind of a little verbal tete-a-tete this morning on CBS. Lindsey Graham said, don't be the world's biggest jackass, talking about Donald Trump with the things he's done, and talking about, of course, John McCain, saying that I like people who weren't captured. John McCain, of course, a former presidential candidate, served 5 years as a prisoner of war in Vietnam. So Trump fires back in Graham's home state of South Carolina, one of the big early presidential primaries for Republicans, calling him a lightweight and an idiot. This is real presidential talk. And then pulls out Lindsey Graham's cell phone number and gives it out and say, give him a shout. Chances are he'll talk to you, but he's not going to get anything done for you. And Graham has now tweeted out, I guess I'll need a new cell phone. Do you recommend an iPhone or an Android? So lots of people called him. And it was real, too, the real phone number. Yes. Billions, and they could save Greece all by themselves. Forget about the euro and the Germans intervening there. They have over $200 billion in cash. It's kind of freaky how much money they have. Their revenue for the last quarter was $49.6 billion, but not enough for Wall Street. That is what's amazing. They lost 7% of their share value after hours because they're worried about forward projections. And of course, the iWatch, not as hip, not as cool yet as everybody thought it would be. So you put that into some kind of perspective for this company. 7%. Tim Cook himself, the CEO, lost over $8 million in his value. And Carl Icahn, who's that investor that has a huge stake at Apple, he's estimated to have lost over $400 million. But the value of Apple in literally seconds went down about $50 billion. That's just an incredible amount of money. So we're talking about, that's about enough to buy not one, but Twitter twice. $50 billion, Apple is now worth less than it was yesterday. So they could have, in just 5 seconds, they lost 2 Twitters. Yeah, sure. Right. Periscope, that is an app that's owned by Twitter. It's just kind of its infancy and its beginning stage. But I look pretty scary because over here in the U.S. it's 1:34 in the morning. But it's kind of cool because you got 4 or 5 people that can follow me at Clyatt, Clyatt, or more if you want. You can follow me on Twitter. I'd love to have you. And you can see, in addition to hear, what's going on. And this is kind of a way for people just to communicate, kind of another Skype variation, but it's for a group of people. And you can ask ask questions about what's going on. If you're showing, say, a ball game, which maybe sometimes you shouldn't, wouldn't be illegal to do that, at least as far as the copyright laws. But people can ask you questions. Like I've gotten questions already from people about whether I'm in the U.S. or Australia, and people saying hi from Los Angeles, and all kinds of questions yesterday before we were going to be on yesterday, and I had a couple of folks from Brazil that were checking in to say hi. So it's just making the world a little bit more of a visual community, and I think it'll catch up, and it's available on, of course, the App Store for iOS devices, speaking of Apple, and of course on Android too. So that's part of Twitter that, well, Apple could have bought two of if they hadn't lost $50 billion of market value today. Sounds great. There you go. That was great. That was great. So, anybody want to say anything? Questions for you 5 people that are hanging on here in the middle of the night? All right. Thanks for watching. We'll do it again tomorrow, the next couple of nights or afternoon in Australia at the same time. See ya. Bye. Looks better up here. It really does. It really does looks better up there. Bye. Bye. I can't turn it off.